Hi everybody, I wanted to add on to Petra's lesson, and when she's talking about Yarrow plants that can be quite different, we actually have an example like that in Dropsmith, and this has happened with the Phoebe aromatics Yarrows that grow just a quarter of a mile apart from each other in Arizona and are very different in their structure. So this is something I wanted to show you, and I will compare them and then compare them to these two different Yarrows from completely different part of the world. So when you come to comparison, you have these three preview methods I wanted to show you. So you can also use the holistic methods if you like them and find them useful. But for now, we're using pie charts. And here you can actually compare everything about them. And the basic information tells you right away that these ones are all both from the same origin and these ones are not. So that might also give you some clues as to why their chemistry is different. But if we scroll along, what I want to show you is their chemistry. And here we go, we are looking for camosulane. And actually these are the one we're looking from Phoebe aromatics. And as you see, one has 4% of camosulane and the other one has 0.10%, almost nothing. The one from Italy has absolutely nothing, and the one from Slovenia has the highest amount, over 10%. So this is also something I thought would be interesting for people studying aromatherapy or teaching aromatherapy to consider, that camosulane might not be the most active substance in Yarrow, and to look at all these other wonderful components that are in Yarrow and might tell us about the oil a little bit more. And how these chemical components come together and how to use them, I would like to show you in another example. So this can be very useful and interesting with other oils as well, not just Yarrow. So let me just delete this comparison, and what I wanted to show you is winter savory, because winter savory is not an oil you would talk about a lot, and here you see how very different they can be. So you can again go ahead and compare them if you like for your personal studies and learning and looking in deeper. But what I want to show you is actually how to be a single essential oil, because this will really help you get the most out of Dropsmith and get that extra professional look and edge when talking about or teaching essential oils or recommending them or whatever it is that you do with them. So viewing a single essential oil is the core of Dropsmith, and this will help you understand other features and get the most benefits from them. And as I've already mentioned, Dropsmith is made as clear as possible and as precise as possible, and that's why you actually see the batch of the oil you're looking at, and all the oils in our database do exist. And you can contact the distributor or the distiller themselves. This is whose oil this is, and you click on it and then it will lead you to their profile and you can contact them directly for more information about the oil. And as Petra said, it is quite important to know which plant part you're using when distilling, the method of extraction, is it distilled or is it extracted, you know, where is it from. All these things tell us more about essential oils. And for example, as a researcher, Dropsmith is a great tool to use to explore these things further and see, do they fit, where does it not fit, you know, and just all as a community we can move forward and learn new things about these wonderful oils we are all using. So this white area, this top area right here, is all about the essential oil you're looking at. So it's specific information. Sometimes it is also subjective, as is the aroma, because it is described by the distiller himself. Below that, this area here is dedicated just to essential oil. So these properties, application, and safety is the safety for winter savory essential oils. Properties that we found based on research. If we found more information on it, for example, this is antibacterial, and if we found which bacteria it was active on, we included that information for you as well. And this is something I designed with my students in mind who are in medical care and really need to target their blends and their oils to a very specific issue. Also, this will give them much more flexibility and credit to their work, because often my colleagues need to give rationale to not only their clients but their superiors as well. So you can just click away and then click more and go to the abstract and then read the article and see if it's relevant to your issue or not, and then present it to your client or your superior. Just much more professional. And it's simple because you don't need to do it yourself. You don't need to go through all the research and find the research that you need. And actually, a lot of my colleagues have been using these oils for many, many years, and they know they work, but just never had the time to find the research themselves. So with application, what I wanted to add to this scientific research, I also wanted to include the traditional use as well, because it has a completely different value, but it's still very valuable and useful. So for winter savory, we do not have a lot of application because it's not so commonly used, but we do have enough. And as you see, I included different authors here, both the scientific data as well as books and aromatherapy journals. And you will, of course, find the reference right here where we got that information from. Because it is very important that we reference our information, not only because we need to respect the authors and their work, but also because we need to know where that information is coming from to be able to make the choice if it's relevant or not for our purpose. So it is very important for our work and for our successful blending to know who is the person who is using this information, and how did he use it. If it is evidence-based, how was it done? Was it in vitro? Was it done on mice or was it done in humans? What dose was it done at? And there's just so many factors to consider. So the more information you have, the more confidence you will have in your blending, and more value your blends and your choices will actually have, because you will have the evidence and the information to support your choices. And you always need to be able to support your choices, whether you're selling essential oils or you're blending in your wellness center or you're teaching. It's very important to have your references right, and it's ethical as well. As we said, properties are all based on scientific research. Applications, we have traditional use as well as scientific research, and safety is quite straightforward. If you scroll down, you will find a detailed report, and the detailed report is again connected directly to the specific essential oil, the specific batch. So every essential oil represented in Dropsmith will be completely different and unique, and this is something we also like to support and show the diversity and the beauty of these essential oils. They're all very different because their analysis are different. So here you have the complete chemical breakdown of this particular essential oil. It is grouped into bigger groups and then into 80 subgroups depending on what speaks to you the loudest and what you're used to using in your practice. You may just skip straight to the chemical components, and if you click on them, you will also get a whole bunch of information on the research we found on that single chemical component as well. So if they have the arrow, if the chemical component has an arrow beside it, we found research on that chemical component. And again, it is you have a link to the abstract, and you have a little bit more information. We found that for you. You have the complete reference here, so you can use it when you're writing an article, when you're teaching. If you're a pharmacist and really need to get specific into the components you're using, this will be just much, much easier and faster for you. So you can look at it this way or collapse back. And perhaps this will be enough for you for starters, because you're just a beginner and you're studying in some aromatherapy school, and this will be what you're talking about, the basic chemical families, and you start from there. But if you want to look further, what we also did for you is something that I was curious for years, is we calculated the properties of these little guys here and the properties that we actually found on them we sum them all up on this side. So these properties are the sum of the chemical components that are found in this specific essential oils, and it's all summed up right here. So this particular essential oil has almost 95% chemical components that are proven to be antioxidant. And if you click on each of them, you will again get the reference leading you to the article that we found on its activity as an antioxidant. So this is something I was very curious about, how properties of the chemical components found in the essential oil actually compare to the properties that are tested on the essential oil as a whole. Because, as you know, synergy, and as we will talk about later on in several lessons from different aspects, synergy is not that predictable, and sometimes it does add up. 1 plus 1 is 2, or it can be 3 or 4 or 5 or 1. So please just consider that when we try to make Dropsmith as precise as possible, this is the best we can do at this point. We cannot predict synergy, but we can use this information, for example, for very rare essential oils. If you're, for example, a distiller or a distributor with new oils, or a researcher, and you have no idea where to even start researching this essential oil, well, then your chemical components and their properties can really help you get a head start on that. And just another thing, a quick thing, you can also view this in different methods. These are the two popular methods some aromatherapy schools use, and because we wanted to encourage to be as precise as possible, we also made these methods available for you, quite precise. Just please make sure to know that there's a lot more of subgroups available in Dropsmith than these methods actually contain, and all of that other stuff just gets lost in the translation. So make sure you know the limitations to the methods that you're using, but it's up to you which one works for you. So just to sum it up, knowing how to view the essential oil in Dropsmith will help you understand how to view the comparison feature and the blending feature, and just how to get the most out of it in these few days that you're studying with us. And so just to review it quickly, this area is on the specific essential oil, the one right here, that batch specific. This area here is on essential oils, so all winter savory essential oils. And at the bottom here with the detailed report, it is all about the chemical components found in the specific essential oil you're looking at. So it will give you the complete chemical breakdown and properties of single chemical components that are then added up in these properties right here. So these properties are about chemical components found in the specific essential oils and their properties added up for your convenience. So I hope this is useful. If it's a handful, please just hang on, stick with us. By the end of the course, you will have a lot of information. It might seem overwhelming at times, but just hang on in there and it will stay with you in your inbox and you can read it over later. If perhaps there's something you do not understand, well, that's a good thing. Now you know what you need to work at, and I'm positive that you can find somebody that can help you discover that area further. And we are very happy to open up some new perspectives for you and new insights into the oils you are already using. So please let me know below how you like the video, what you think about this feature and Dropsmith and our course. This is the first time we're doing this, so we're very excited, and so am I. I've never made videos before, so this is a first for me, and thank you for your patience. And tomorrow we continue with chemotypes, and that's also a reason why I wanted to show you how a single essential oil view works, so you can really get the benefit from comparing them tomorrow with the different chemotypes. So I wish you all a lovely day ahead, or a restful, peaceful night, whichever part of the world you are at, and talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.